Hey guys, it's Josh Lloyd. It's a pregame show for not Monday, Tuesday. Tuesday, that's what day we are. Tuesday in the NBA. There are 6 games on. We're going to do Yahoo Best Bets today. We're going to do Draftkings, DraftStars, FanDuel, and Yahoo DFS. We're going to chat, going to answer your questions. We're going to talk whatever we need to talk. Straight after the show, there will be a what to watch for show for Wednesday's game. So check that out. Latest news: Anthony Edwards still a game time decision for today, and the knee issue looks like something might be managed the rest of the season. That's not good. Lou Dort, Kenrich Williams, Ty Jerome out tomorrow. Justice Winslow out tomorrow. Vanderbilt Bar's playing. Eric Gordon will be out tomorrow. Kevin Porter might miss the next 2 games. Fred VanVleet's out. OG Anunoby's out. Buddy's return is coming soon. Cameron Payne will be played tomorrow, it looks like. Johnny Collins out today. Andre Drummond's out today. Marvin Bagley's out today. What else has happened here? Gary Bird is going to play. Sean Holmes is questionable. I think that's everything. Yeah, I think that's... Yeah. And we've got some starters announced as well. So should I bring the lineups across? Actually, let's do Yahoo Best Bets first. It's linked in the chat. It's linked in the description. Shit day yesterday. Let's bounce back today. The Lakers are only 5-point underdogs to the Mavericks. I don't think that makes much sense. So let's just take the Mavs -5. Go click the link, though. Go check out the article, which is linked in the chat and at the top of the descriptions. How is everybody? We all good? Whoever's here? Good to have you all here. Yes, Albert. Campaign looks like he'll be back tomorrow. He is probable. So that means very, very good chance he plays tomorrow. Was there an update on John Isaac? The update said nothing. It said, he might come back, but he might not. He's not coming back. That's what the update said. But you said you said you saw something on Basketball Monster. You can literally just look at that update on Basketball Monster as well, Master of Gaming. It's the same thing that I just said. All right. Let's... What should we look at here? Let's flick this... What else have we got? Lineups. Yeah, let's tell us what lineups we've got going on. Today, what have we got confirmed? The Wizards are starting Neto, Caldwell Pope, Kispert, Kuzma, and Gafford. The Raptors are starting Flynn, Trent, Barnes, Siakam, and Birch. Good opportunity for an Achua game and a Flynn game today. I expect the Pistons will be Joseph, Cunningham, Bay, Grant, Stewart. The Hawks will be Young, Herter, Hunter, Gallinari, Capella. The Celtics will be Smart, Brown, Tatum, Horford, Williams. And the Nets should be Mills, Curry, Brown, Johnson. And then at center, will it be Aldridge or Claxton? I don't know about that because there's no Drummond. The Warriors, I expect they go with Moses Moody again. So Curry, Payton, Moody, Wiggins, Looney. The Wolves, Beverly, Russell, Edwards, Vanderbilt, Towns. And if Edwards is out, it'll be McDaniels. Clippers will be Jackson, Mann, Batum, Morris, Zubats. Rockets should be Schroeder, Green, Gordon, Tate, Wood. Mavericks, Doncic, Brunson, Bullock, Finney-Smith, Powell. And the Lakers, with LeBron questionable, I expect it'll be Westbrook, Reeves, Ariza, James, and Howard. But that Reeves and Ariza spot, they could very easily move those guys around. Nemanja Bjelica out tomorrow as well, for those of you who care about that sort of thing. Any word on how serious Winslow's injury is? Nothing at all. We've got no idea about that one. What's my prediction on Hayward's timetable? Well, I talked about that in the injury show earlier today, Aaron. I think we're probably two weeks away from that. Will the big sneeze be a drop when OG and Fred VanVleet comes back? Yes, I hardly see how he will maintain value when he has not had any value all season. Am I giving Derek White all week to see what minutes to decide on rosterability? That's going to be individual, depending on where you are in your season. Have you got a bye? Are your playoffs 2 weeks away? If you're in playoffs now or playoffs next week and he gets 20 minutes again for the 4th straight game, and there's someone out there you want to grab, you can't get by on 20 minutes. So I would consider that a drop there. Is Cole Anthony's hip issue something to worry about? He's listed probable, so they don't expect him to miss. Anytime someone's on the injury report, you have to be a little bit worried, but I'm not overly concerned with that. How many minutes for Hayes and Bruce Brown going forward? Bruce Brown's impossible to know because Durant, Simmons, Irving, they're all going to be in and out of lineups. And when they come back, he probably won't sniff 20. But he'll play 28 when they're out. Jackson Hayes should be 26 to 30 most nights. That's my expectation. Hey, Josh, does Yahoo have an option to scatter playoff matchup once seeding is decided? What do you mean? What does that mean, Emad? Explain what scatter playoff matchup. What does it mean? I don't get it. Maybe I'm dumb. Or maybe I think I am. Okay, Moses Moody starting again tonight, so that's confirmed. Curry, Payton, Moody, Wiggins, Looney. Just letting you guys know for the recap show today, I won't be covering the Dallas and Lakers game. I have to boot out early and go and coach the footy team that I coach, so we just won't have that last game on, so apologies for that. Let's do some DFS, shall we? Let's go over to Draftkings. Start off over there. Who do I like? Flynn, obviously. Gafford, KCP, Dwight Howard, Denny Avdia. Beverly, Hachimura, maybe. Aldridge, Gary Payton. Batum, possibly. Siakam, Precious, Carmelo Anthony, Gary Trent. Schroeder, Wiggins, Doncic, Isaiah Stewart, Scotty Barnes. And my lineup on DraftKings is Flynn, Beverly. Oh, actually, I've got to change that lineup because it had KPJ in it. And he is obviously not playing. So we're going to move him out. My apologies as I just redo my lineup because, yeah, Kevin Porter was in it and he's not playing. So see you later. All right, my lineup on DraftKings. Flynn, Beverly, Doncic, Caldwell Pope, Gary Trent, Andrew Wiggins, Pascal Siakam, and Dan Gafford. On FanDuel, players that I like. Flynn, Caldwell Pope, Vanderbilt Bar, Beverly, Wiggins, Scott Barnes, Dwight Howard, Siakam, Thad Young, Gafford, Claxton, Aldridge, Schroeder, Doncic, Kispert, Marcus Smart, Gary Trent, Carmelo Anthony, Christian Wood, Jason Tatum, Reggie Jackson, Ivica Zubats, Curry, Jaylen Brown, Isaiah Stewart. And my lineup is Flynn, Doncic, Caldwell Pope, Trent, Barnes, Tatum, Siakam, Wood, and Gafford. Okay. Let's go to Yahoo. The top end guys that I like. Siakam, Tatum, Kuzma, Jaylen Brown, Christian Wood, Towns, Curry. The cheaper players. Flynn, Gafford, Kispert, Thad Young, Kennard, Ish Smith, Avdia, Caldwell Pope. My lineup is Flynn, Trent, Jaylen Brown, Avdia, Tatum, Kuzma, Gafford, Siakam. Lastly, on Draft Stars. The guys that I like over there. Flynn, Schroeder, Siakam, Smart, Beverly, Olynyk, Doncic, Claxton, Tatum, Wood, Avdia, Vanderbilt Bar, Brown, Trent, Aldridge, Kispert, Cunningham, Pritchard, Moody. My lineup is Flynn, Beverly, Smart, Kispert, Tatum, Avdia, Siakam, Olynyk, and LaMarcus Aldridge. What else have we got? Nothing else, I don't think. Yeah, nothing else. You're going to be shocked. Eric Bledsoe's out again with his Achilles injury. No, we're not playing today. We've got it's training, preseason training. We don't. First game's in 2.5 weeks. Can you recommend a center on most waiver wires to fill an open spot? It's very hard for me to do. Like, how do I know? Drew Eubanks, maybe? How do I know who's on your wire? Roby? Kleber? Gafford? Jackson Hayes? There's lots of guys available. David says it's not a huge loss. We don't need to hear more about the Lakers. I 100% agree, David. Just the frustration in watching them is palpable. Do I watch shows like First Take or people like Stephen A. Smith? Never in my life. I would never watch them. I never do. What are my thoughts on them? I hate that just say shit for reaction stuff and focus only on big names. I hate it. It annoys the shit out of me. Stephen A. Smith used to be a very, very good reporter back in the day. But, yeah, I don't take any of his opinions on any sport seriously at all. So instead of 1 versus 8 or 2 versus 7, scramble playoff. I don't think that's a possibility, Emad. Now, I know on fan tracks, you can just adjust the playoff matchups however you want. But why would you want to do that? Why would you want scramble matchups? I've never heard anyone wanting to do that. Kwa says he wasn't playing fantasy before Isaac's injury. How good was he? Like, actual top 30 upside player. I think he might have had a stretch where he was a top 30 player. Like a guy that could legitimately average 2 steals and 2 blocks, 15 points, 2 threes, 8 rebounds. Like 2 steals, 2 blocks. Like actually a potential fantasy stud with top 20 upside. I don't think that's ever coming now. Do I think Trumer had reduced minutes because of Fultz? Not really. They just played Mo Bumble more minutes in that game. I don't think Fultz had a massive impact on him personally. Mate, we'll see again in the next game tomorrow, but I don't think he had a huge impact on him. Do I like Pokuševski going forward? I like him, Mitchie, with Wiggins out. Do I get requests for interviews outside of Locked On? Do you mean do people request for me to come on their show? Yes. I try and do as many as I can. So I've been on Dan Besbris' show a few times. Got another guys that reach out to me. I'm not sure whether we're going to get the timing on that right. But yeah, I've been on multiple shows in the past. I'm always happy to do it if it makes sense with timing for me. Think Cole Anthony is sitting the rest of the season? No, Ronnie, why would you think that? He's probable for tomorrow. And probable players play 90% of the games that they're listed probable for. So I don't think this means he's out for the season. Not at all. Do I listen to JJ Redick's podcast? No, I don't listen to any former players' podcast at all, or current player. Duncan Robinson, JJ Redick. I don't listen to any of their podcasts. JJ Redick, from everything I've heard, has a good podcast, and I like what he says. I like his opinions on things. I don't listen to it. Gary Trent ranked top 40 on Basketball Monster. Is that right? Seems too high. Tim, please turn off turnovers. Gary Trent doesn't get any of them. Like, it doesn't matter if it seems too high. If that's what the ranking actually is, that's what the ranking actually is. But it's always going to seem too high because you've got turnovers turned on. Without turnovers, and in the way that I like to weight my rankings to get a better idea of the value of players, he's 64th for the season, which is significantly better than I thought he could be. That's based on his really high steal numbers, but he's still a negative in field goal percentage. He doesn't get any rebounds or assists. He's doing it on scoring with threes, good free throws, and good steals, which is a valuable player. But top 40, nobody. Again, one of those things where I say having turnovers in ranks skews everything. Because if you look at that and go, fuck, Gary Trent, top 40 player, there's no way. That's why it's no way. He's not a top 40 player because it's factoring in he gets no assists, or he gets no turnovers, but he also gets no assists. So, yeah, no, thank you. How long have I been playing fantasy? About 15 years, I think. Outlook on Ziaire Williams. I think he'll have a bigger role next year. Adam, it's impossible for me to know that because I just don't know what they're going to do in the offseason. As things stand, they'll have Morant, Bane, Brooks. So the minutes there aren't there. Melton off the bench. Tyus Jones around too. But who knows what they do? Do they trade someone? Bane, probably not. Brooks, maybe. Melton, possibly. Williams, maybe. At this stage, I would suggest, if things stay as they are, that Williams' role this year is larger than it'll be next year because they've had such a stretch of time without Dillon Brooks that Williams has filled those minutes. And instead of playing 26 minutes a night, he might play 17 minutes a night. But lots can happen in the offseason. If a player's status comes up questionable the day of the game rather than on injury report previous day, what is the percentage chance that he doesn't play? I don't have any numbers on that. Chouch, it's a good question. I don't have numbers on when someone was listed questionable versus how they play on them. No idea. Low turners is not really valuable, Harry. I know that people love to think that it is. And I'm not going to get into... Oh, maybe I will. The reason why I don't really value low turnovers, right, is because if you are someone who gets low assists, you basically get low turnovers anyway, right? So if you're punting assists, your turnovers go up. But if you're in a situation where you get hit with injuries, games played deficiency, you know what that helps? Your turnover category. So if you're building your team on getting guys with low turnovers, often they are players with lower usage, lower scoring, lower assist numbers, which means it's harder to get those numbers with low turnovers. And when you're trying to get in a head-to-head league, when you're trying to stream extra players in, the negative category is going to go up. So I just think it's completely pointless to view things in the using the realms of turnovers to be a metric that matters. Because in general, I want to smash you by playing 8 extra games, and therefore I'm going to lose turnovers. I want to get more assists than you, therefore I'm going to lose turnovers. I want to score more than you and get better usage players in, therefore I'm going to lose turnovers. So including turnovers in my analysis is pretty pointless, I think. So that's why I don't look at them that way. The Jordan 1's College Navy 85 dropping in a couple of days. Must add, yeah. So it used to be known as the Georgetown, or I guess known as the Georgetown, but officially known as College Navy. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to get them. I don't know that I will. I don't know that I'll win them, but I hope so. Pistons lineup confirmed. Joseph, Cunningham, Bay, Grant, Stewart as usual. Warriors, as we said, Curry, Payton, Moody, Wiggins, Looney. No other news come through yet. How do I build my projections? As someone who would love to get into doing what you do, it's the only part I don't know how to start doing. We have a whole system set up with algorithms and formulas to do that. It's pretty complex to not get into doing that. The one thing you need to make sure you're doing is everything has to be balanced, right? You can't be looking at players, and people will often say this and when criticizing a projection or whatever it is, and that's fine. Like, oh, this guy needs to score more, or this guy needs more usage, and that's fine, but it needs to balance across a whole team. And I'll say this, this guy needs more minutes. Try and work out a rotation where there's 240 minutes, because everything needs to balance. A team on average will get 23 to 25 assists per game as a team, in general, around that mark. Right? So if you have guys coming in, 3 guys altogether that average 15 assists, or let's say 8 assists, someone's probably going to take a hit because very few teams average more than that. Scoring-wise, of all these players coming with big usage and big scoring, you have to be able to work that down because teams aren't going to come in and average 130 points per game. It was when we tried to work out the Westbrook-LeBron Davis pairing this year. Someone was going to take a hit. Those assists weren't going to stay up for everybody. And we've seen Russ and LeBron's assists drop down. The usage has dropped for players, for Russ. His rebounds have dropped playing next to Davis and LeBron. Like, it all needs to balance in. So that's one of the things that people don't always get when trying to look at minutes or project minutes out. You've got to have 240 minutes per game. You've got to have a certain number of minutes for the entire season, factoring in games missed as well. And balance all the individual stats. I hope that makes sense. Am I worried about Winslow's injury? A little bit. He's missed 2 in a row. But I'm not super worried at this point. Is Lonnie Walker worth an add in 12 team? No, I wouldn't care for that. Does Basketball Monster have projections for individual games or rest of season? Both. Jalen Green, Malachi Flynn, or Daniel Gafford for Points League stream tonight? I think it's probably Flynn, OPs. Gabe is an ad, yes. What do I think of Lowry's situation? Yes, Gabe is an ad. I don't know how long he's going to be out. More Wine the Band says, first place, 7-week win streak, 10-cat league, thanks to the Aussie Diddler, Big Josh. Diddler? Diddler? What do you mean by Diddler? Because Diddler doesn't have a great connotation. I'd like to know what you mean by that, because that... that's not a good word. What do you mean? That's not a good word. But I'm pretty sure you weren't meaning to be negative. What are my predictions for Brissett or Keldon Johnson the rest of the season? Again, all this stuff is on Basketball Monster. Brissett, I'm not overly enamored with his game. I think he's fine to have, but I don't think he's a high upside guy who really can hurt you in percentages and can be up and down. Keldon Johnson, we know the issues with no steals, no blocks for him. He's a points and rebounds guy who's shooting well, but there's going to be some regression. He should be a 12-team league guy. Brissett should be as well, but I'm not as interested there. Johnson ahead of Brissett, but they're both probably back-end players, I think. Ayo or Fultz rest of season? Ayo. I think it's time to trade Edwards. Nick. Sure, but the person you're trading him to is going to see the same report, I'm guessing, and go, oh, I'm also worried about the knee injury, so you're not going to get much value there. While it's interesting to try and do it, actually, will you be able to pull it off? I don't think so. Besides collecting sneakers, do I have another hobby? Do I have enough time for another hobby? Not really. Like, I do all this work. I watch TV. I cook. I cook a lot. I drink wine. Is that a hobby? I cook, wine, sneakers, coaching sport. Is Brandon Clark must roster for points leagues? I think I did this on the waiver show yesterday or 2 days ago. I'm not sure he's must for a points league. I think Cameron Payne can be a top 100 player when he gets back, which is going to be tomorrow, Alondra. Okongwu or Flynn for stream for rest of the week. I think it's Flynn. There's 4 more games. I don't know how many Van Vliet's going to miss. Okongwu is locked into a backup role most nights. So I think Flynn's got the upside there that I would rather take the flyer on him. What do you do with Barton? Nothing. You just hold on to him. There's going to be ups and downs. You just hold him. Is Okongwu worth streaming tonight? I reckon you might have better options, but there's nothing wrong with it. But he could play 17 minutes. What is better, an epic dunk or an epic buzzer beater? I like buzzer beaters better personally. I'll tell you what, and I've said this before on the show, and I haven't actually said it on like a full volume show where I get, the full listenership, because people will probably get upset at me. The problem with an epic dunk is Ja Morant's dunk was great yesterday. All right? It was awesome. But it's worth 2 points. It's worth exactly the same as hitting 2 free throws. It's exactly the same as a basic layup in transition. It's good for a highlight, but in the scope of a game, what does it really do? Like, not much. A buzzer beater, which if we're assuming fourth quarter buzzer beater, it wins a game. That's way more impactful to me. And I think part of the issue with, not issue with basketball, I have a big issue with the way fouls are dealt with in the league, and how that bothers me a lot. But big plays in the NBA don't mean that much. And that's in basketball in general, because there are so many field goals every game. Teams are scoring 40 made field goals, 45 made field goals a game. So you might have a 6 spin move with a behind the back. Jokic does this crazy assist out for someone, and they hit a layup, and it's worth 2 points. It's not like scoring a touchdown where you might have 2 for your team for the game. It's not like kicking a goal in soccer, which you have, maybe 1, maybe 2, where it's such a big moment. Or even getting like a close attempt in soccer from a great build-up pass and you just narrowly get saved or just narrowly misses the goal. That just doesn't happen that often. Whereas in basketball, like a 2-pointer or a 3-pointer, like they're useful, but they're just so ubiquitous that I think that the big plays that get... I don't know if there's no solution to this, but I think that sort of eliminates... That's why I don't get hype. Like big dunk, that's cool. I don't get that hype for it, because I go, it doesn't actually mean anything. What does it do for the game? What does it do for the outcome? Is it a game changer? Probably not. Does any of that make sense? It sounds like I'm just hating on it, which is not right. And Drew says posterizing someone should eject the opposing player. I don't know why people clown on people getting posterized. You're trying to defend the shot. I think you should be actually that should be admired. Instead of getting out of the way so someone can dunk, get in there, put your body up. Who gives a shit if you get dunked on? That's your job, to try and defend. If someone gets it in, oh well. I don't think people should be clowned on by that. As a Kiwi, you hate our wine. What's wrong with New Zealand wine? I don't mind New Zealand wine. Got some bottles of New Zealand wine here. How much do I pay tax for sneakers in Australia? Tax doesn't really work that way here. Like, everything has just got 10% tax on it, flat, that's it. And it's just built into the price. So it's not like you guys in the US where every state has a different tax set up and random shit happens all over the place. It just doesn't happen that way. It's just everything has got included 10% tax in it. We never really see it. Do I see Cam Johnson remaining valuable with Payne returning? Probably, but less so. Who's my football soccer team? I don't really follow it that closely, but in England it's Newcastle. In Italy it's Lazio. In France it's Marseille. In Spain, that varies, but it's Espanyol. It's probably Espanyol. Germany, don't really have a set one there either. feel like a dunk can be a huge momentum shift for the team and jumpstart a run. Yes, but not always. Like, it can be. And it does get the crowd hyped, all that. But again, in the end, it's 2 points. Apart from my show, what is the other Locked On show you like the most? I don't get a huge amount of time to listen to all of the shows all of the time. Like, I know, the guys that I listen to probably the most out of those guys. I listen to Kane on Locked On Bucks quite a bit. The Lakers guys are really good. Kamenetsky brothers, they're really good. Who else do I listen to on Locked On? Jackson does a great job with Locked On Rockets. He's really good. I think Koo does a really good job on Locked On Pistons. Hard for me to single them all out though. Did you watch Uncharted? No, I have not. Is it good? Is Lyles worth streaming for the back-to-back? Well, Thomas Station. There's a show coming out in 4 minutes straight after this that will suggest exactly that. In fact, Trey Lyles is actually the thumbnail for that show. So yes. Do I golf? Not really. Last time I played golf was December 2020 in the Barossa Valley. I'm not terrible at it. I probably should get into playing golf. I just can't be bothered. What's the rarest sneaker I have? Kobe 6 Grinches. I've got Jordan 5 Grapes as well. They're probably the two most rare sneakers. Or the Jordan 1 Ama Manier. They're not as rare though. Espanyol is the ultra-right team of Spain. Is that true? I did not know that. The reason I was Espanyol is because I had a great football manager save with them. And we won the Champions League about 10 years in a row. And Lazio is the Nazi team of Italy. Are you serious? Fuck that. All right. What's my favorite Aussie film? The Castle? Maybe? I don't know. I don't really look at things and go, man, I can't wait to watch Aussie films. I just watch stuff that's good. Is the NBA going to have a huge labor problem like baseball is? I think there'll be some issue, but not like baseball, no. We're getting ready to end up here. Do I watch the NFL? Yes, my team is the Dolphins. Gafford or Brandon Clark? Clark. Suggs, Akiki, or Stewart? Nikhil, what are they averaging in your league? There's your simple answer. What's happening over the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? Check their averages. I can't tell you. You've got the data that I don't. Best ESPN points league rest of season, Winslow or Bain? Again, I would say it's probably Bain. I have to look into that with Lazio. Look, again, I don't watch soccer. That's shit house though if they're a Nazi team. Fuck that. Yeah, I don't really drink much New Zealand. I've got some bottles of New Zealand wine. I don't drink much of it. Most of our wine, drink a lot of Italian, French, Australian. Don't get many American wines. I had an American wine last night, though. A Cabernet Sauvignon from, I think it was from Napa, but I'm not sure. That was pretty good. Cooked with that as well. That was nice. How much do I like Mike McDaniel? I think he looks all right as the new coach. I think he looks all right. We'll see how it works out, though. Sadaransky's available to play today for those of you who care about that. And that, let's do one more question because we're about to head out of here. Any other questions? Do I drop Brissett, Akiki, Crowder, Camelo for Payne? Yeah, I've got no issue with dropping Brissett or Crowder personally to grab Campaign. I'd keep Akiki and I'd keep Mello. Either one of those other guys can go. And you know what that means? I am going as well. So, guys, thanks for being a part of this. Drop a like on the way out. What to watch was coming up straight away. I'll see you later. Bye.